Hi everyone, and welcome back to another sculpt class. Today is going to be quite a classic sculpt, so we're going to be working through the bread and butter moves of Pilates. It's one of my favorite classes. It's definitely a go-to of mine whenever I'm working with people maybe who are beginners, or I'm trying to get a workout myself that really works the body but moves nice and slowly and nice and intentionally. So let's get straight into it. Coming to your back of your mat, we're going to take a nice warm up. So taking a deep inhale, dipping down into the knees, opening it up, extend, breathing in. And exhale, hands come down by your side, tucking chin to chest. And we're going to start to just roll down, softening through the knees, decompressing your spine, one vertebrae at a time, all the way until you find that nice first forward fold of your class. You might notice a bit of tightness in certain areas. Just spend a bit of time focusing your mind on those tight areas. Taking another deep breath in. And as you exhale, releasing those tight spots, softening even further into the knees. And we're just going to start to restack the spine, rolling back up, keeping the head really heavy, keeping the arms heavy and relaxed, supporting your spine using your core, and then coming all the way up to stand at the top. Good. Take a nice big roll out of your shoulders, and here we go again. Breathing in, dipping down, opening it up, extend, being as long as you can. Inhale and exhale, tucking chin to chest, hands come down by your side, softening through the knees. We're just going to start to decompress and roll all the way down until we find that beautiful forward fold. Extending through the body, extending through the neck, relaxing the head. Noticing how your tight spots might be still there. They might have loosened up a little bit. Let's take another deep breath in. Exhale, releasing those tight areas, and then slowly softening into the knees and rolling back up, restacking the spine. One vertebrae at a time, keeping your head really heavy. Supporting your spine, using your core, rolling all the way up until your head is the final thing to come up at the top. Let's take another roll out of the shoulders, and we're going to go one more. Dip down into the knees, inhale, opening it up, extend, breathing in. This time as we come down, I want you to come down through a flat back, pushing your hands down by your side, extending through the back of the legs, finding your nice swan pose, looking towards the top of your mat, extending through the back of the legs, squeezing through the back of the arms, holding that core. Take a nice deep inhale, and then exhale. We're going to slowly walk your hands down along your mat and pike your hips all the way up to find downward dog, extending through your spine, pushing your chest down towards your legs. Let's take a little pedal through the feet. Just bending into one leg, extending through the other. Taking nice deep breaths in, deep breaths out. Good, we're going to go here for another 4, 3, 2, 1. When you're ready, we're going to place both weight back down into both heels, pushing both heels down into the mat. Finding your way into your left heel, we're going to sweep that right leg all the way up to find your three-legged dog. Doesn't matter how high it goes, just extend through the back of the leg. Take a nice inhale. And then exhale, we're going to sweep it all the way forward to meet the outside of your right hand and find your first high lunge. If you want to drop your back knee, that's fine as well. Otherwise, keep it high. And we're going to just find a few rocks back and forward, easing into those hips and allowing them to just sink down into your mat. Good, let's rock for another 3, 2, 1. When you're ready, finding the center, placing the weight into your left hand. We're going to open up through that right side, take a beautiful twist, maybe a few rolls of your wrist. Exhale to bring it back down, and inhale, opening it up again, twist and extend, maybe a few rolls of that wrist. Inhale to bring it back down, final one. Exhale, squeeze, twist, and open up. Find that beautiful length. Coming back through to the center. When you're ready, weight in your hands, strong through that back foot, strong into the core. We're going to sweep that leg all the way back up into three-legged. Inhale. Exhale, bring both feet back down to the mat to meet. Pushing your chest down towards your legs. And breathe. All right, when you're ready, we're going to find the way into the right foot, sweeping that left foot all the way up into a three-legged dog. Remember, it doesn't matter how high your leg goes, just find that beautiful length, keeping your pelvis square to the mat. Take a deep inhale, and then exhale, sweep that leg forward all the way to meet the outside of your left hand. Drop that back knee if you need, otherwise staying high in that lunge, we're just going to rock back and forward, easing into the hips, releasing them down towards the mat. Taking nice deep breaths in, deep breaths out. Let's go 3, 2, 1. Good. Placing the weight into your right hand. This time we're going to take that twist, open up through the left side. Beautiful spinal twist. Maybe a few rolls of your wrist. Inhale, bring it back down. Exhale to open up and twist. Rolling that wrist. Inhale, coming down. Exhale, twist and open. And final one, bring it back down. Now let's find the weight back in those hands, strong through that back foot, strong through your core. We're going to push and sweep that left leg all the way back up into three-legged dog. One more deep breath in. And exhale, bringing it back down to meet your other foot. Final time, downward dog, just pushing your chest down towards your thighs. We're going to start to activate through the core a little bit from here. So I want you to be really strong, thinking about your belly button holding up towards your spine. We're going to bend your knees down towards the mat just to hover off the floor, keeping a nice long spine. Maybe you need to readjust your hands a little bit, finding your bear hold. You're going to hold it here. I want you to take a little pulse up of your hips, bring it back down to the mat, and then push all the way back up into down dog. Inhale, bring it down. Drop those knees to hover. Squeeze that core, push your hips up and down, and then pike all the way back up into down dog. Good. Inhale to lower the knees, hover off the mat. Really strong and intentional. Squeeze from your pelvic floor up, bring it down, and then pike all the way back up. Good. Inhale, lower those knees, hover off your mat, squeeze and lift, down, and push. Remember, if you need to take a break, just take a break and come back to it. We're going to go here for another 3. Squeeze and lift, hover the knees, and pike it up. Inhale to lower, squeeze that core, little pulse, bring it down, and push. Good. Final one. Inhale, bring it all the way down. We're going to squeeze, lift those hips, bring it down to the mat. We're just going to stay here for 8. 7. You can do it. Thighs are burning. 6. 5. Really use that core. 4. We're going to break in 3. 2. 1. All right, drop those knees. Let your knees go wide. Let's push those hips all the way back and find a nice child's pose. So the hands have done a lot of work here, and the wrists, which you can probably feel. So let's bring those hands up over your head. Maybe you want to walk your elbows away from you and just take a few rolls of those wrists. Nice deep breath in and a deep breath out. Good. Final one. Breathing in and breathing out. All right, when you're ready, we're just going to come up and take a nice cat-cow before we start the work of today's class. So taking an inhale, dipping down through the belly, retracting the shoulders back, opening up your chest and looking up towards the sky. Inhale. Exhale. Pushing away from the floor, allowing those shoulder blades to open up really wide. C-curve that spine. Inhale, reverse. Drop the belly, opening it up, extend and lift. Exhale, pushing away from you. Really flexing the spine, allowing the head to fall right down. Inhale to drop. Exhale, reverse. Really just check in with your own pace here. Do what feels right for your body. Find that beautiful center on your mat. Maybe you want to set an intention for your class today. Why are you here? Why are you doing this? It's good to come back to it throughout the class to help you keep going. Good, let's go one more. Dropping the belly, opening it up, extend, and reverse. Good, let's just take a moment here to maybe do any movement that feels nice. Maybe you want to move side to side. Maybe you want to go around in a circle. Just do whatever feels right. Maybe spend a bit of time on one side. If something feels a little bit extra tight, maybe a few rolls of your neck. And then whenever you're ready, coming into your neutral spine. Lovely, guys. So we should be feeling nice and warm and ready to attack the rest of this flow. So we're going to start with some leg extensions. So I want you to extend your right leg back long behind you from where you are. It's really important that you take this time to set your core and think about being as long as you can all the way through your tailbone, up into the spine and through the crown of your head. Keeping soft through your elbows and keeping soft through the shoulders, keeping them down away from your ears. We're going to lift and extend that right leg long away from you, okay? So it's not about height, but rather about length. Inhale to tap it down to the mat. Exhale to lift and lengthen. Inhale to lower it down, keeping that pelvis really straight towards your mat. Try not to open up wide to any side and try not to dip out through that low spine. You really want to think about being long and squeezing into the glutes, but holding that pelvis really strong. The height will come as you get stronger. All right, let's go here for another 8. Squeeze and lift. Inhale to lower. 7. Squeeze. Tapping it down. 6. Really soft through the upper body. Strong through the core. Strong through the glutes. 5. Inhale it down. Good. Final 4. Strong squeeze and lift. 3. Squeeze. Holding that core really stable. 2. So good, guys. Final 1. Good. We're going to hold it all the way up. Squeeze and hold. Now I want you to just draw little circles up and around with your foot. So just really small little movements here, challenging that stability through the pelvis, holding your core. Let's go here for another 4. 3. 2. Reverse the circle in 1. We're going to go back and around. Other direction. Challenge that stability. Challenge that pelvic floor. Hold that core really strong. Let's go 4. 3. 2. 1. Straight through the middle. We're going to take little pulses up and down, squeezing up and up. Let's go 6. 5. Control that core. 4. 3. 2. 1. Now holding it there, I want you to hold your belly in really strong. We're going to tuck your elbows in towards your chest and push down towards the mat. Exhale to lift it all the way back up. Inhale to drop your chest. Exhale to push. Inhale to drop. Exhale to push. Good. Keep working. Inhale. Exhale to lift. Let's go for another 6. 5. Squeeze that glutes. Likes to drop. Hold that core really strong. 4. If you have to drop the leg, just come back to it. 3. 2. Now last one, holding it halfway. We're going to take little pulses up and down of your chest for 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. All right, pushing all the way up. Relax, let those knees go wide. Pushing those hips back, and let's find a nice child's pose. Placing your forehead down onto the mat. And let's just take a nice deep breath in and a deep breath out. Breathing in And breathing out, connecting into the floor, connecting into the ground. Let's go one more, breathing in and breathing out. And then whenever you're ready, we're going to come and find our way onto our side. So I want you to lay down on your left side so that your right leg is facing upward and your left side waist is on the mat. So we're going to take a bit of time here to concentrate on the core and the pelvic floor. Extending your legs out long, slightly on the diagonal. You can come all the way down to rest on your bicep, or you can place your head on your hand, whatever feels more comfortable. So I want you to notice how your ribs are quite relaxed into the floor as you relax and lay onto the side. Placing your right hand underneath your left rib, take a deep inhale. And then as you exhale, try and push those ribs away from the floor so that you've got a gap in between yourself and your mat. And then your underside waist, your pelvis, and your core are now engaged. So let's inhale to release. Exhale, squeeze up and lift. Good. One more. Inhale, drop. Exhale, squeeze up, lifting that side waist up off the floor. All right, so holding that waist up as much as you can throughout the rest of this flow. Now keeping your hips nice and stacked on top of each other, hand on the floor if you like, or hand on your hip, whatever feels more comfortable. We're going to lengthen and lift that right leg long and away from you. It doesn't need to go too high. We're trying to work the outer glute and the pelvis. Exhale to lift. Inhale to lower. Good. Exhale to lift. Squeeze into that glutes using the pelvis. Inhale to lower. Coming back to that core. Exhale to lift and squeeze. Inhale to lower it down. Good. We're going to go for another 4. Squeeze and lift. Inhale down. Final 3. Squeezing up. Final 2. Inhale. Now, final 1, all the way up. We're going to hold it up. We're going to draw little circles around with that foot. So just controlling the pelvis. You'll notice how your pelvis wants to move backwards and forwards. Try and keep it really still and just work the foot. For another 6, 5, 4, 3, strong in the core, 2, 1, reverse the circle all the way back, squeezing through the glutes, keeping that pelvis as stable as you can, keeping control through the movement. Let's go 6, 5, come back to those ribs, 4, 3, 2, 1, little pulses up and down. Let's go squeezing up for 8, 7, 6, push to the end, 5, 4, 3, use that pelvic floor, 2, 1. All right, bring it down. Give it a little tap. We're going to come straight up onto a side plank. So I'm going to demonstrate the modification first because it seems to be quite a popular choice. So what I want you to do is come onto your your left knee, and then place your left hand onto the mat. We're going to extend out through the right leg and open up all the way through the right hand up towards the ceiling. Now, taking an inhale. As you exhale, you're going to squeeze and thread through, trying to touch your rib towards your hip. Inhale to open it all the way up. Exhale, squeeze it through, thread it through, almost like you're wringing out a tea towel with your core. Inhale to open it up. Exhale to thread it through, all the way under. Inhale to open it all the way up. Okay, if you're feeling comfortable there, then just stay there. Otherwise, if you can, challenge yourself to step both feet out and work the full side plank. Same thing, thread it through, squeeze. Inhale to open it up. Good. Thread it all the way through. Try and keep soft through the elbow. Inhale all the way up. Good. Exhale. Squeeze. Let's go 6. Come on, guys. We've got to push. 5. There's nothing wrong with being in the modification. This is a very tough move, so if you're not all the way up in the full side plank yet, just stay with the modification. 4, 3, squeeze it through, inhale it up. Let's go 2 more, all the way through, squeezed rib to hip. Final one. And let's hold it all the way up. We're just going to take little pulses up of your hips, up and up. Squeeze that underside waist. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. All right, coming down. Let's place both knees down onto the mat. We're going to place that right hand on the right side of the body and just take a nice sweep up and over from that left side. Taking a few rolls out of those wrists. Nice deep breath in. Deep breath out. And then coming over the other side, placing that left hand down, opening up through that right side. Extend and release. Take a few rolls of those wrists. Exhale. All right, coming through the center. Grabbing both hands in front of you. Let's just collapse your back away from your hands and push. Allow your head to release and allow your chest to push back. Then grabbing behind your back, opening up through your chest, pushing your chest up towards the ceiling, allowing that head just to hinge back. Breathe and release. Okay, when you're ready, we're going to place both hands down onto your mat. I want you to tuck your toes, find your feet, take a nice inhale, and exhale, push all the way up through downward dog. Pushing your chest down towards your legs, taking a beautiful breath. And on your exhale, we're just going to slowly walk your feet, step by step, in towards your hands on the mat, finding that beautiful forward fold, relaxing the head, taking a nice deep breath in. Exhale, softening into the knees, and we're just going to roll it up, restacking the spine, one vertebrae at a time, all the way until we come up to stand. Head is the last thing to come up, taking a nice big roll out of your shoulders. We're going to move into our standing series now, so placing your weight into your right foot, we're going to start to find a balance. I want you to have a nice soft knee through your right leg, nice and planted through the floor in that right foot. If you can, I want you to try and lift your left leg up into a tabletop balance. A tip is to try and concentrate on something in front of you that's not moving, and hold your belly button up and in towards your spine. If the balance is too much, you can just tap your toe onto the floor. Otherwise, keeping lifted through that leg, take a nice inhale. And then exhale if it feels all right. Let's lift those hands up overhead and find that full pose. Good, we're just going to hold and concentrate here for another 3, 2, 1. Now when you're ready, taking an inhale. As you exhale, I want you to sweep that left leg back all the way to find a nice reverse lunge. Really deep into that front right leg. Weight through the back of the heel. Take an inhale. And as you exhale, we're going to sweep those arms down by your side and bring that leg back all the way up into that tabletop. Inhale. Exhale, sweep it back. Arms come overhead, finding that beautiful lunge. Inhale. Bring it up. That was an exhale. Inhale to step it back. Exhale to bring it all the way up. I always get confused with the breath, but that's okay. Just do whatever feels good. Inhale, step it back. Strong into that core. Exhale to bring it up. Challenging stability and strength through that right leg. It's done a lot of work already. You guys are doing so good. Let's keep pushing here. Inhale it down. Exhale it up. Let's go for 6. It's okay to wobble. Your teacher wobbles too. 5. We're here to get better and improve. 4. Try and keep light on that left leg. 3. Squeeze through the right glute to pull up rather than push up from your back foot. 2. Now last one. We're going to hold this position here. Now if you can, lift your right heel up off the mat and place it back down, staying low in your lunge. Lift and squeeze. Place it down. Let's go 6. Hands to chest if you need. 5. 4. Strong into that core. 3. 2. Now final one. Lift that heel and hold. We're going to take little pulses up and down for 8. 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. All right. Whew. Bring it up. Give it a little tap. And we're going to come back to the back of the mat, taking a nice reset to come down and do a little bit of core before we move on to that second side. So taking a deep breath in, dipping down to the legs, opening it up, extend. And exhale, tucking chin to chest, softening into the knees. Let's roll it down, decompressing your spine all the way until you find that beautiful forward fold. Relaxing the head, relaxing the body, taking a deep breath in and a deep breath out. One more, breathing in and breathing out. Slowly walking your hands down along your mat, dropping those knees, untuck your toes. Let's just take a nice cat-cow before we move on. So dropping the belly, opening the chest, extend. Inhale and exhale. Reverse, pushing that shoulder away from the floor, opening through the shoulder blades, relaxing the head. Inhale to drop it down, extend and lift. Exhale to release, pushing away from the floor. Let's go 2 more. Inhale, extend and lift. Exhale, reversing the movement, pushing away, relaxing your head. Final one. Inhale to drop it down. Lift and extend. And exhale, reverse. Coming back through the center. All right, we're going to move straight onto that second side. Now I want you to extend your left leg long behind you, and we're going to start to work into those leg extensions. Okay, so really strong into that core, really long through your spine. We're going to start to lengthen and lift that leg long away from you, and then inhale to drop it back down to the floor. Remember the importance of your soft elbows and shoulders, squeezing up and lengthening through that leg. Inhale to tap it down. Good. Exhale to lift. Squeeze into that glutes, being as long as you can, remembering to control that pelvis. Exhale, squeeze and lift. Inhale to lower. I want you to go nice and slowly. We're going to go here for another 8 reps. Squeezing up. Inhale to tap it down. I'm literally sweating so much. It's so hot here today. 7. Squeeze and lift. Inhale to tap. Good. Squeezing 5. 6, sorry. You see I'm going a bit, losing it towards the end of the class now. This is hard stuff. We're nearly there. 5. Good. Final 4. Squeezing long. Inhale to tap. Let's go for 3. Squeezing 3. 2. Exhale to lift. Inhale to lower. Final 1. We're going to hold it there, keeping your eye gaze really long towards your mat. We're going to start to draw little circles up and around. Up and around, controlling that pelvis. Squeeze and control the glutes for another 4. 3. 2. Tiny little movement. 1. All right, reverse the circles, back and around. Squeezing that glutes, controlling your pelvis. Really using that deep core to work here. Soft through the upper body. Let's go 4. 3. Second side's always a bit harder, guys. We've got to push. 2. 1. All right, straight through the middle. Let's take those little pulses up and down. Squeezing 8. 7. 6. 5, 4, 3, 2, hold it in 1. Now strong through that core. We're going to drop your chest down towards the mat. Tuck your elbows in. Exhale to push. Inhale to drop it down. Exhale to lift, keeping that leg lifted if you can. If you have to drop it, that's okay. Exhale to push up and away from the floor. Inhale to drop it down. Exhale to lift. Strong into that upper body. Let's go. 6, 5, squeeze your glutes. Final 4. Keep working. 3, 2. Now last one, all the way down. Take those little pulses up and down, squeezing. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, push to the end. 2, 1. All right, let's go. Knees wide, hips go back. Child's pose. Let's place those hands away from you on the mat. Forehead comes all the way down to rest. Taking a beautiful deep breath in. And exhale. Nice and profound. Good. One more. Maybe this is a nice time to come back to that why. Come back to that intention and remind yourself of why you're here today. All right, coming up all the way, and let's find ourselves on our side. So laying all the way down onto that right side this time. Remember, your hand can hold your head if you like, or you can come all the way completely down to lay on your bicep, whatever feels comfortable. We're going to bring those feet just slightly in front of you on the diagonal, stacking your hips above each other. Now let's come to that core, placing your left hand underneath your right rib. Taking an inhale and noticing how your ribs relax into the floor. And then exhale, squeeze up and lift away from the mat, engaging that pelvic floor, engaging that underside waist. Inhale to drop it down. Exhale to lift and squeeze it up. Good. Inhale to lower. Exhale to lift. Good. All right, we're going to hold it there now for the rest of this part of the flow. If you can, place your hand on top of your waist. Otherwise, on the floor, on your mat is fine as well. We're going to slowly lengthen and lift that left leg up and away from you, controlling that pelvis. Inhale to tap it down. Exhale to lengthen and lift it up, squeeze. Inhale to tap, controlling that underside waist. Exhale, lengthen and lift. Inhale to tap it down. Let's go. 4, squeeze. Inhale to tap. 5. We're going to go to 8 reps. So 3 more. 6. 7, squeeze up and lift. Inhale to lower. Final one, all the way up. We're going to hold it up. Now I want you to draw those little circles with your leg, controlling that pelvis and really noticing how it wants to move around. But we're going to work with precision and control for another 6, 5, 4, 3, holding that underside waist up, 2, 1, reverse the circle, back and around, squeeze. Use that glutes, notice how your pelvis wants to wobble, but you're there to control it. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, final one, all the way up, squeeze and pulse for 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. All right, bring it down. Give it a little tap. Well done. We're going to come straight up onto that side plank. So remember the modification. We're going to place your left knee down onto the mat and your right knee, right hand, left leg comes out wide, left arm comes all the way up towards the sky. Taking an inhale. And then as you exhale, we're going to twist and thread the hand through and under, thinking rib to hip connection. Inhale to opening it up. Extend and lift. Exhale, squeeze. Really connect into that core like you're wringing out a tea towel with your abs. Inhale to open it all the way up. Exhale, squeeze it through. Inhale to lift and extend. All right, if you're feeling comfortable here, then stay here. Otherwise, if you can, or you would like to challenge yourself, you can step both feet out. Inhale, twist it through. Exhale, squeeze it up. Good. Keep working. Really squeezing those ribs down towards your hips. Opening it up. Try to control the pelvis. Really working those obliques for another 6. 5. Good. Come on, guys. This is a very hard move. We've got to push. 4. Come to the elbow if you need. 3. 2 more. Squeeze it through. Now last one. All the way through. All the way up. Hold and lift. We're going to take those little pulses up and up. Let's go. 8. 7. Squeeze those obliques. 6. 5. 4. 3. 2. 1. All right, bring it down. Knees come down to the mat. Placing your left hand on the left side of your body. Let's just open out and sweep over with that right side. Maybe taking a few rolls of that wrist. Deep breath in and a deep breath out. Good, and then let's sweep it over to the left side. Left side comes all the way over. Extend and breathe. Rolling those wrists. Good, coming through the center. Let's clasp your hands in front of you. Push your chest away and collapse back, relaxing your head. And then grabbing behind your back, pushing your chest up and away from you. Extend and lift. Inhale, exhale. All right, let's place both hands down to the mat. We're going to tuck those back toes. We're going to pike those hips up, pushing all the way to find downward dog. Nice deep inhale. And exhale. When you're ready, we're going to slowly walk your feet step by step towards the center of your mat to find that beautiful forward fold, relaxing your head. Take a deep inhale. Exhale, softening into the knees, and let's just roll it back up. Restacking the spine, one vertebrae at a time, all the way until you come up to stand. Taking a big roll out of your shoulders at the top, and we're going to start to work on to that second side standing series. So whenever you're ready, finding the way into your left foot, keeping a nice soft bend through that left leg, and we're going to start to slowly ground through that left foot and lift your right leg up into a tabletop balance. Remember, trying to focus on something in front of you that's very still. Taking deep breath in, deep breath out, drawing that belly button up and in towards your spine. On your next exhale, if you can, lift your hands all the way up overhead and just hold this balance, finding stillness for 3, 2, 1. Take a deep inhale, and then exhale. We're going to sweep that right leg back and deepen and find our reverse lunge on the left leg. Inhale, exhale. We're going to sweep that right leg back up into tabletop, and the arms come down by our side. Inhale, step it back, arms come up and overhead. Exhale, sweep and lift. Squeeze into that core, strong through the back of your arms. Inhale, step it down, reaching those arms. Squeezing that left glute to come back up and find that balance. Challenging the body here, challenging the stability and the strength. Good. Exhale to lift. Inhale, step it back. Exhale, squeeze it up. All right, we're going to go 6 more reps here. 6. In 5. Good. Final 4. Final 3. Come on, you guys. I know that left leg's burning. I'm in this with you. 2. All right, final 1. We're going to hold that lunge. Now, from here, lift and squeeze that left heel up off the floor. Inhale to bring it down. Exhale to lift and squeeze. Inhale to drop. Let's go 6. 5. Hands to chest if you need. 4. Staying low into that lunge. 3. Strong into the core. 2. Final 1. Hold that heel and lift if you can. Take little pulses up and down for 8. 7. 6. 5. 4. 3. 2. 1. All right. Whew. Give it a little shake. Give it a little tap. We're going to come to the back of the mat, take a beautiful reset, and then move on to our final block, which is the core series. And then I'll give you a beautiful stretch and you'll be all done. Just taking a dip down into the knees, opening it up, extend and lift. Breathing in, exhale, tucking chin to chest, softening into the knees, and let's just roll it down. Finding that beautiful forward fold, relaxing the head, relaxing the body, taking an inhale, exhale, release, and again, breathing in, breathing out. Good, final 1, deep breath in, and a deep breath out. We're slowly going to walk your hands down along your mat, drop your knees down to the floor, untuck your toes, and we're going to find our way onto our backs. So coming all the way down to lay completely onto your back. And we'll just take a moment here to find that center. Maybe coming back to that intention, helping us make it through the final block of the class. I want you to place your hands onto your ribs, plant your feet down into the mat, and we're just going to notice how as you inhale, your ribs can open up really wide and your pelvic floor can release. And then as you exhale, you can really draw that pelvic floor up and close your ribs down, making sure that you push into the floor and find that real connection into the core. Inhale to open it up. Exhale to squeeze and draw everything in, pulling everything up together, really connecting into that core. One more. Inhale. And then exhale. Breathe and draw that pelvis up and control those ribs. All right, when you're ready, we're going to place your hands behind your head. Let your thumbs just roll down the back of your neck. We'll take one more inhale, really release. And then exhale, I want you to squeeze in through those abs, and then using that low part of your pelvis to draw up like a rope and squeeze your head, neck, chest up off the floor with control. Inhaling back down to the mat. Good. Inhale. Exhale to squeeze and lift, really pulling up into that low abdomen. Inhale as you go down, try to control the move here. Exhale, squeeze and lift. Try not to move your pelvis around too much. Really push that core through and use that core, almost feel like it's a rope, drawing you up. Squeeze and lift it up. Inhale to lower it down. Let's go for 8 more reps here. Squeeze and lift. 8. Inhale it down. 7. Squeeze it up. Inhale to lower. Good. And 6. Controlling the moves here. 5. Breathing down. Final 4. Inhale, control. Good. Final 3. Squeeze up and lift. Inhale to lower. Good. Final 2. Maybe you need to reset those hips. Come back to that rib connection. Take your time. There's no rush. Good. Final 1. Squeezing up and lift. Inhale it down. All right. Now, this time, as you lift your chest, I want you to now create that rope from your chest and into your knee, drawing your right knee up to tabletop at the same time as you lift your chest. And then inhale to tap it back down to the mat. Exhale, squeeze, drawing that chest up, drawing that knee in. Don't draw the knee in too far. It comes just over your hips. Inhale. Exhale, squeeze it up. Inhale to lower it down. Good, keep working. Exhale, squeeze and lift. Inhale to lower. Good, keep working. Exhale to lift. Inhale to lower. Try not to move the hips around too much. We're going to work here for squeezing for 8. Squeeze. 7. Inhale. 6. Squeeze and lift. All right, final 5. Inhale it down. Control that pelvis. Try to squeeze up through the core. Try not to rock too much. Final 3. Squeezing up. Inhale it down. Final 4. Sorry, 2. Now last one. All the way up. Squeeze and lift. Now I want you to bring both legs up to tabletop. We're going to drop that chest and keep working the crunch from here for 8. Inhale. 7. Squeeze. 6. Squeeze and lift. Inhale to lower. 5. Final 4. Squeezing up. Inhale it down. Really control those ribs. Pull and squeeze in. 3. 2. Hollow out through that stomach. Final 1. Squeeze it up and hold. Now we're going to go bicycle crunch. We're going to go left elbow to right knee. Then we're going to switch right elbow to left knee. I want you to try and keep your body really straight on the mat and work from the center. Try not to dip over to one side. You want to keep control as you move through this. Let's work here for 10. 9, 8, 7, 6, breathe. 5, 4, 3, 2, final 1. Both legs back to tabletop. Let's reach those arms and pulse your chest up and up. Final bit. 8, 7, 6, 5, push. 4, 3, 2, 1. All right, release. Whew. Well done, guys. If that wasn't ab burner, I don't know what is. All of the hard work is done. You'll be happy to know. So let's just grab behind your thighs, take a little rock and roll all the way up to come to seated. I want you to place your hands on the front of your mat, sweep your knees round, and we're just going to take a nice little stretch. So please just stay with me here for a moment, tucking your back toes, pike those hips all the way up, and find your downward dog. We're not going to do any pedaling now. We're just going to push those feet down into the mat. We're going to release that chest down towards your thighs. Whenever you're ready, relaxing your head, placing your weight into your left foot, we're going to sweep that right leg all the way up to 3-legged. We're going to do a nice stretch to cool down. A little bit similar to the warm-up, but just nice and slow. Deep breath in. And a deep breath out, extending even more into that three-legged. One more. Deep breath in. And deep breath out. We're going to sweep that right leg all the way forward to come and meet the right hand. We're going to place that left knee down onto the mat, untuck your toes, and we're just going to push down into those hips. Finding that deep low lunge, taking your time to just ease into your hips and relax the body here. Stretching out through that underside of your thigh, bringing the mind back down to calm. We're going to start to slowly lift your torso. Take a sweep down along your mat with your hands, open up, take a full circle all the way back. Good, sweep it down, up and back. Final one, sweep it down, up and back. Now let's place those hands back down on the floor. We're going to put the weight into the left hand and take a big twist and open with that right side. Maybe you want to take a few rolls of your wrist. Really try and ease your hips down into the mat as you do this. Deep breath in, and then as you breathe out, we're going to sweep that right arm all the way back to look towards your left toes. Pushing the hips as low as they can go, down into the floor. And then coming both hands to meet your feet at the front of the mat. Let's push those hips back and extend that right leg. Finding a beautiful hamstring stretch. Pushing your head down towards your leg. Take a deep breath in. And a deep breath out. Good, one more. Deep breath in. Deep breath out, relaxing as low as you can go. And then bringing the weight back over that front foot. We're going to tuck those back toes, find the weight into your hands, strong through that core, sweep that right leg all the way back up. Three-legged one more time. And then slowly bringing both feet down to meet. Let's go readjust those hips. Right foot pushes down into the mat, left foot sweeps all the way up into three-legged dog. Finding that beautiful stretch. Just taking your time here in this position. Nice deep inhale. Exhale. Let's go one more. Deep breath in. Deep breath out, release. When you're ready, we're going to sweep that left foot forward all the way to meet your hands at the top of the mat. Dropping that back knee, untuck your back toes, and just take your time here to sink down into the floor with those hips. Releasing through that underside of your thigh and into your hip flexor. Taking a deep breath in and a deep breath out to come to stillness. We're slowly going to lift your torso up and just take a nice sweep along the floor with those hands. Up, draw a big circle all the way back and around. Sweep it down, sweep it up, sweep it back. Final one, sweep it down, up and back. Let's place that right hand down next to your left foot, and we're going to open up through the left side all the way up, taking a beautiful twist. Maybe you want to take a few rolls of that wrist. Let's allow those hips to just sink down into the mat. Take an inhale and then exhale, sweep that hand all the way back to look towards your back toes. Pushing those hips down into your mat as low as they'll go. Inhale, exhale, bring that hand back to meet your foot. We're going to push those hips back, keeping that front leg where it is, extending out into your hamstring stretch. And feeling that beautiful lengthen through the left side. Allowing your chest to just drop down. Taking a deep breath in. Deep breath out, pushing as low as you can go for today. And then when you're ready, coming forward over that front foot, finding the strength in your core, tucking those back toes, and sweep that leg all the way back up into three-legged. Nice deep inhale. And exhale, bring both feet back down to meet on your mat. Pushing both heels down into the floor, extending through that upper body. Now I want you to lift both heels and find a spinal wave, rippling all the way forward through from your heels into your spine. And then if you can, sinking those hips down towards the mat, untuck your toes and extend to find that beautiful upward dog. Take a nice inhale. Exhale, release. If you have to come down to your elbows, then please do. Good, one more deep breath in. Deep breath out. I want you to look over that right shoulder. Extend through the left side of your neck. Exhale, look over the left. Extending into the right. Inhale. Exhale, looking all the way up, extending through the front of your neck. One last inhale. And then exhale, pushing those hips back, allow those knees to go wide. And find your beautiful child's pose. Head comes down to the mat. Finds the ground, finds the center. Lovely deep inhale. Exhale, release. All right, whenever you're ready, I'm going to come onto the center of the mat and just find our nice cross-legged position, ready to take our 3 grounding breaths all together. So keeping a nice long spine, finding your sitting bones on the floor, taking a deep inhale, reaching those arms up all the way overhead, breathing in, extend. Exhale, release, hands come down by your side, spine stays nice and long. Inhale, opening it up, extend, breathing in. Exhale, release. Final one, breathing in all the way up, extend and lift. This time as you exhale, let's bring those hands down to prayer and into your heart space. Feel free to close down your eyes and find your stillness here. We're just going to take a moment here to try and calm the mind and calm the body back down to rest. Noticing how you feel grounded into the floor, how your body feels heavy into the earth. Noticing any thoughts of stress or worry in your mind, and just trying to remove them. Maybe thinking of something that you're grateful for, and something that's making you feel positive to take on to the rest of your day. And we'll just be still for another 10 seconds or so here on the mat. Whenever you're ready, we're going to take one final deep inhale and exhale to breathe it all out. Slowly starting to open up your eyes, maybe taking one final roll out of your shoulders. And you ladies are all done. Thank you so much for joining me. I hope that you enjoyed that class. Definitely one of my favorites, and I hope that you enjoyed it as much as I do. Can't wait to see you on the next one, and thank you so much for being here.